Good morning, everyone. Ts'ah Bii. My name is Darlene. I work with the Inscription House Clinic. I'm a liaison between IHS CDC and Navajo Nation. I work specifically under the Department of Health Navajo Nation Cancer Program. So, Ts'ah Bii. Adon en shinige yaha look at the nenshe do tachi ni bashishin do deschi ni yaha the jino the shinal hot end nas al the zilga chiche yaha nesh ejet habaha akudo shant hodo yesinasha ado the queen akhaya da kwa chant kwa gedeshin shima asa hat stabani nakuda nanda chino kuda deshin stok adat in is na akhay kwa betkhande stati kente service unit ajudot nashinche ako yaha oya so hanne de ya kwa lezel indota al yaha the nebza bik etche bilkhodna al dazik ila do til no ye at says anike yaha sani dabede nal ihike yaha Tuesday na kijinda anishigon na egilgate le hosdote e sani dabede nal ihi ashwon handa ka appointment da atas a clinic ge kwa ge ya hot ela alto aro in the kere na has ani a clinic jehen ege ya referrals on ye kwa gen dan hit nal i ho zel in again dan hit nal i ho le to the city go referral hotel i ho a ko khada da ana what it referral flights da hot khul ad la ha jo on that no i ha no kwa ge a jo ba hatta no e ha bini na referral da ni ge e ha Ishlate azel and that nza hota asli ha pesa aba ohille ha ek hota abi kinda pesa hota yinilo the difference insurance the guest ki ek enda illa even na referral da nila ek ko abelta hasne ha no ako khida danle ko jugo page go ta aslana ta edo ta e ha Monmouth Valley jugo dan ta ho edo ta e tuban ta ho ya aja hat ada ahat ida bhlil se hatan za ha jo ya na bedet on ka hat no adet ots refer back in the i project here inscription house to go ado adet be ha hal just beni na e ya ati to the city to go ge e ya the person nan de ya aja big as no beni na to hot abe hi ta ne ha no ko a ko tent abi kin that refer what the ayat e ko apeso I guess killen le Tucson da khida da nada el ida da Flagstaff da ide ya kwa ake ba da hasne ha ne ado in da akon nast ani en ki address dan hirane ki IC dan hirane ki hajo ba da hasne bini na e ya ha at e da khida che in ta le CHR hot da khai da kuch shaganda no le kud inex agent has tan le adaban ya ada hasn da ka hata jin quite those records that you share with the IHS with their residential information that stays there, it doesn't go, it's not shared with anyone. So what's ela ashwade auto in the 911 though auto be the hasne hatne EMS to onila um we live in this service unit area yaha called Kientis Police Department 928-697-5600. They'll let the hospital or the EMS let them know what's going on if you need help. Benin Yaha 911 Colorado towers pick it up when you call 911 the tower pick up so adobahasinde Ibn use the police department's number 928-697-5600. Although complicated nast ani you know the roads you travel on, at least have an idea of what the main signs are, like the mile marker. إذا بحلك إغا كويس الأول والجنو هجلني هالتو كا يدرو أجا إياها أدو أكو هالغانيكي التوتها ديتين the road سيكي أي أن البيت هازن دون هالشنجل تهالنا دان هالغانيكي دو the mile marker باتو هانزاتو إيديا أكو تأيدو police دو أدو لاجه جهو وهادين تخادا نيلا أكو خد إيلا إيدي ألتصو هنه ذل إن هز أنجه تلاتة بحنا إيدو الكت كنت هي إيدي شاهن شبه thank you
Thank you, Shadeja Kun, Hisnahosan, Knet. Biketat Otra. Ishahi, Iko Ala, Nal Social Sodabaka, nature. If you want a one to remind you, ask her for one. Okay, in light of that, I'm going to go ahead and give Mr. Barker time to give us a information on what he came to tell us about.
Gate, Shea Ammon Barker, Nishia. I'm with the Coconino County Attorney's Office. I'm the Chief Deputy County Attorney, and I live and work in Flagstaff. And I'm up here today to talk about some of the things the County Attorney's Office is doing for folks living on the Navajo Nation and throughout the county. I have a coworker in Tuba City, so I'll probably won't be able to stay for the whole meeting. I'll have to leave because she's stranded in Tuba City if I don't go pick her up. So a few things that we're working on with the County Attorney's Office, we are very invested in the MMIP issue, missing and murdered Indigenous persons, and in fact I have a meeting later this month to talk to some of the officials with the Navajo Nation. In our office we have a cold case unit. This is a unit that is dedicated to prosecuting cases of individuals who have been murdered and where the evidence has gone cold for over a year. So we have a prosecutor assigned to that. More importantly, we have at the medical examiner's office in Coconino County, we have around 80 sets of unidentified human remains. So these are individuals that have not been identified through DNA or through any other means. And what we're trying to do is to get those tested for DNA so we can identify these folks. What's important for people who are missing relatives is that there is a way to match up missing or these unidentified human remains through a DNA process through relatives. So technology has gotten so good recently that if a mother, father, sister, brother, children, if they provide DNA samples to a national database, they can match that up with the unidentified human remains. So one of the goals of our office in the Coconino County Attorney's Office is to make sure that we're identifying those individuals so that we can eventually prosecute these individuals. We have 2 cases that our office is currently reviewing that are designated cold cases. One of the cases is actually 20 years old. It's a homicide case that occurred just outside of Flagstaff with a young Native young man. So we're working on those cases. The other thing I wanted to talk about is we're recognizing that there are more scams and identity theft that's happening everywhere, not just out here, but everywhere across the country. In fact, billions of dollars are being scammed through different means. I, and as well as the Chief Deputy Sheriff, Brett Axland, we are presenting a class to any group who would like to have us. It's about a 30-minute class to talk about what are the common scams that people are using to obtain personal identifying information. So this is information like your social security number, driver's license, credit card number. There are ways that people are using all kinds of creative ways to scam people out of money. Many of us have received text messages saying we have a UPS package that wasn't delivered, and you got to click on a link, right? We've probably all gotten some text message like that. That's just one of the many ways that they're trying to scam. Some of these criminals are trying to scam people to get their information, and then they can start using your information not just to get money, but they can use it. For instance, if they're arrested, they'll use your information to the police instead of their own information. So there's all kinds of ways that people are using this information, and so we want to make sure that we're preventing that. My goal is to make sure that I don't have to prosecute cases, right? I would love it if we didn't have criminals. I would love to work my way out of a job, and so that's one of the ways we're trying to help the community. The last thing I wanted to mention is that we recently, just a couple years ago, there was a U.S. Supreme Court case that said for crimes that are committed by non-native individuals against either non-native individuals or native victims on tribal lands, will have jurisdiction not just with the feds and with the tribal authorities, but also with the state authorities. And so what that means for our office is that there will be cases, more cases now, that our office will be prosecuting. Again, the jurisdiction can be quite complicated. However, we know that there are tourists that come through all areas of the Navajo Nation, right, going to Monument Valley or through Page, and they're not native and they commit crimes on tribal lands. Our office will be handling some of those cases now, and that's a change from just a couple of years ago. And so you'll be seeing more sheriff's deputies patrolling, maybe not so much in this area, but there will be a couple deputies. I know that there are deputies stationed now in Tuba, and one will be in Loop. But if the Navajo PD is requesting assistance, the sheriff's office will come out on those types of cases. And so it's likely that we will be prosecuting those cases as well. And so I wanted to make sure that people were aware of that. The process, if there is a crime committed by anyone, of course, the process is still to contact local law enforcement. So that would be Navajo Nation PD, but sheriff's office will be involved, and then eventually our office will be involved with charging that case. Again, the Coconino County Attorney's Office oversees the prosecution of all the state cases, but sometimes we'll be handling cases out here as well. And that's for all of Coconino County. And so that includes a big chunk of the Western Navajo Nation, as you know, including out here. So I'm happy to answer any questions that you may have. I'm happy to be here and see you out here. I'll be back shortly to give more updates, but thanks for the time. Oh, the Justice Corps that goes out there? That would be, so Judge Grodman and Lena Fowler, they organize that. So I work with Lena, and Judge Grodman is the Justice of the Peace, and so he'll go out occasionally to Tuba City. So if there are people that you know that have outstanding warrants, they will quash those, meaning they'll dismiss those cases. Our office is also coordinating with that, with the Justice of the Peace. In fact, this month we've dismissed close to 200 cases on warrant cases. We don't want people to feel like they can't leave here and go to Flagstaff, for instance, because they have a warrant from 10 years ago. We're going to just dismiss those cases. But that's a good reminder. I think they're coming out again. I don't remember the date, but I can look that up and provide it to the chapter officials. Yeah. Any other questions? Yes, ma'am. Right. Navajo County is a separate jurisdiction. I know that we're pretty close along the border here, but this is Coconino County. Sir. I didn't catch that. I'm sorry. I don't, yeah, I don't know. I'll have to look into that. I haven't heard anything though. Yeah. Okay. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay, thank you very much for letting us know the services that are provided through the um, Coconino County Attorney's Office. Ado the nashibus hosnet on les ada ben hitch a haotzigi. Okay, we have hit quorum. So I'm going to call this meeting to order at 11:13 a.m. daylight savings time. Ado, I'm going to go ahead and ask, or do I have a volunteer for prayer? Lean, Shamadleen. Thank you. Yeah. Ado couldn't abgis so he gave approval of agenda. A whole agenda and he cost me. I need a motion. Jamie, second. Lee, Riggs. Ado, I'm going to go ahead and have the secretary read it before any questions, comments, or concerns.
Okay, TBK or Ts'ah Bii chapter in-person chapter meeting agenda, meeting call to order, invocation, approval of the agenda, approval of the last meeting minutes of March 8th. Correction, that's supposed to be March 5th. March 5th, and then we got presentations. One council delegate, Herman Daniels. Legislative District Assistant is Robert Black Jr. And we got Grazing Representative Jerry Begay, Coconino County Elections Office, Ray Daw, Coconino County Attorney Office update, Amon Baker. Old business, and then new business. Accepting and approving, number one is accepting and approving the March 2024 budget report. Number two is accepting and approving the monthly cash receipt deposits for March 2024 in the amount of $973.95 as budgeted. Number 3 is approving and supporting the septic cleaning service assistance to the eligible applicants in the amount of $250 to their selected vendor. Number 4 is approving and adopting the Ts'ah Bii FY 2024 gaming carryover budget in the amount of $1,342.82 as budgeted according to the attachments. Number 5 is approving and supporting the budget transfer of $1,000 from 016619 tax penalties interest to Fund 016303 operating supplies 1,000 to cover the shortfalls to date that were not anticipated. Number 6 is approving and supporting the budget transfer of 1,000 from 036401 space rental to Fund 036321 gasoline vehicles 500 to Fund 036322 diesel fuel 500 to cover the shortfalls to date that were not anticipated. Number 7 is approving and supporting the budget transfer of $750 036390 other supplies expenses to Fund 036303, approving operating supplies $750 to cover the shortfalls to date that were not anticipated. Number 8 is approving and supporting the budget transfer of $495.10 from 106607 seminars and registration fees to Fund 106202 travel expense $495.10 to cover the shortfalls to date that were not anticipated. Number 9 and number 10 are to be determined. We have reports, we have announcements, and then we have the upcoming scheduled meetings with adjournment. Madam Chair, the agenda has been read for the record.
Okay, thank you. Kala, questions, comments, and concerns? Yes. Because I told Priscilla that we first need to have a letter from Sylvia. We need to have a letter from Sylvia that she's stepping down as Klupsi. And then AD give we can put it to the planning meeting to put it on the agenda. At the same time, we need a letter of interest from Lean so that we can get it all done. Okay, so we need that one. Auto Inda, we can know the proper procedure. That way that we don't get dinged for it. So we need a letter from Sylvia to resign the position. I told Priscilla that if it doesn't happen before today, that we'll have it done until the next meeting. Yes. But she was approved by resolution to be a member. She was appointed, yeah. When we did the Klupsi, we had the names that were on there that were going to be on the Klupsi committee. So she was appointed by resolution, and that's the reason why we need a letter from her. Huh? Because we haven't put you on Klupsi yet. There were already members on there, and there was already a alternate. So what has to happen is that if you're going to be a member on Club C, then that means that we have to have it appointed by resolution so that it basis tolls. But the resolution that we have doesn't have that. We'll have to revisit the resolution and look at it first. Auto Inda. Like I said, Sylvia she was appointed by resolution when we first started Club C. So she has to give us a resignation letter saying that because by resolution that was appointed. So even though if she didn't do a letter of interest, she was still appointed by resolution. That's that's the reason why we need the letter from her. Okay, just have her call me and I can let her explain it to her. Anything else? Oh, just document. So the letter you the letter you gave me, the letter that was given to me does not say anything about her absence and how she didn't attend meetings. It just talks about the reasons why that she's going to leave for the CLEPSI. So if if you wanted that to be in there, that should have been stated in there too. Then we will go to the CLEPSI guidelines and procedure, policy and procedures to do it that way. So that would mean that I would need another letter from you stating that reason that she only attended so many meetings and then hasn't been attending since. That's what the letter has to say. Okay. Anything else? And you can do that letter right now too, because we're still in the meeting and there is a resolution that is open to places. Right? Okay. Anything else? I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Oppose? Abstain? Okay, approval of the agenda passes with 22 approval, 0 oppose. Oops, sorry, 4 abstain. Okay, next, approval of last meeting minutes from March 5th, 2024. And the minutes are on the website. Was it March 8th? March 8th, right? Yeah. No, it was on a Friday. It was on March 5th. Okay. We had the meeting on Friday last month too, so it's March 5th. It's posted on the website and it's good, will be posted outside on the bulletin. Yes. Okay, so, okay, motion by Jamie. And she wants the members to go to the website to read the meeting minutes and then to the bulletin board outside to read the meeting minutes. If not, to go to the office to ask for a copy. That's what the motion is. Second? Okay, Mary Ellis. McClure. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? At that note, I'll go ahead and motion to vote. Those in favor, please raise your hands. Oppose? Abstain? Okay. Approval of last meeting minutes from March 5th, 2024 passes with 24 approvals, 0 oppose, 4 abstain. Okay. Is the council delegate online? We've come to the part where presentations are. Okay. They're meeting with the president. Okay. Our president. Our council delegate has a meeting with the president at this time, and I think that Robert is there with him too. So we will go ahead and excuse them from doing a report. We'll go ahead and give the time to the grazing representative.
You don't want me to be talking, okay. I'll go through. Like I said, branding and everything is open, tally count. Any run out that needs to be done, it'll be cooler in summer, run up the big. So I think DIA didn't know that we need to do some horse roundup. I'd go to do question. So it's hard to do them. Although Redley, they don't need it. You know, yet that Redley did. And I gave the Becca she added, oh, you t-shirt too, they Becca she does, so they added. So we planning, I'm trying to plan with him, see when we can do that one too. To do that roundup added, oh, you Becca she could t-shirt too, so I know the Moores and the Synergies, their cows are down there, Richardson, and the rate they could go to read stuff. So it is, run up Shane that net and some others. There's some others that we talked about but never fall through. So we'll put it back on the board and we'll do it. If she not what's going on that only. So I'll be working on the branding schedule on June to get the sheet on that. That we want to do all the auto Wrangler sheet. I think there's a slot for four. That's it. See at the shot or little so she connected or still. Sunny. Got to be 18 years old. Don't take off. So, it is. So, we're not need to, be without national care. That they need to do that. You see, with, carry cart or little. It is. On a shot stop. Bad house, we need shots. You can buy some shot. There's a newspaper house on the Ivan Met shot, yeah. They don't know how we used to buy those. We're not buying those no more. Because of the drug dealers. It's not this big it's not don't need so. Ivan Met is off the table, off the counter, and we can't buy them. Only if the veterinarian can come out and do those Ivermectin. It's just like penicillin too is off the shelf. They're quite dry leather chom. Get you out and the drug scene libik kashibat fanda at sehiki. So number one is black late still out there that you can use such a. So we'll be branding our cattle on the hip, okay, not on the rib anymore because you do a lot of so it's better to do it. So it is as far as running is concerned, again, for the grazing official, I retire. Fully retired this year. I will step down, I'm not going to run no more. So, recently, right, Nengi, I can't talk. So, I want to. So, thank you for working with us, working with me for all these years, putting up with me, putting up with you, getting mad at each other, and come back and apologize. But it was good experience for 20 years. I don't know, 20 years is lean. So it is I don't enjoyed it. You that's on journal. I don't yell. He likes to bother us. Take care of them. It's like we need to be taken care of. So it is nothing. So thank you again. Enjoyed working with you all these years. January. I'll go on and thank you.
Thank you for that report. This is I'm retiring hitotni. So opportunity for new grazing official is going to be open. Putting in application is going to be open in, when was it? April, that shouldn't be, but so anybody who wants to run for an official position as grazing official, chapter president, vice president, secretary, treasurer, there's a opening for it at the election office. You have to put in your application. You have to get a money order. I think it was $250, right? For us, $250 money order. You got to get your paperwork notarized, and then you turn all that into the election office, they take a picture of you for the ballot. So auto primaries, I think, was going to be in May. Right? Auto general election, as you know, will be in November. So anybody who's interested for those positions, you need to go ahead and do it. It's fun. It's a learning experience. Okay, on to the next. The Coconino County Elections Office, Ray Daw, is not here. I don't see him. So he said he was going to be here, but he might have been delayed or something else must have come up. Otto, we already heard from Ammon, Mr. Barker. We already heard from him before we officially started the meeting. So I thank you again. And if you have any questions, make sure you come get up with him and ask him. You go shin hala legal le aja bez ani bes nahas aja bekitas sohiki aja satan halchana ani hita. You know, sometimes we get in trouble with the law, or we might want to know something because we saw something that we think that it might not be right. No, those are the type of questions you need to ask an attorney so that you can have a better understanding of what these laws are, okay? Although we also heard from Shadeja Darlene Singer, who works with the Inscription House Health Center, and what she does is a lot of this information. She gave us some screening notification or flyer to talk to have 3D mammogram screening. Those are coming up. So Sani, Daniki, these are important. And as well, you know, wellness checkup. All the different nowadays, you know, service areas for IHS and for IHS, it's service area. So where their boundaries are and stuff like that. Even though all the money, the major pot of money that comes from IHS is just one big pot of money. By the patients, they go to the different service areas. I guess that's how they do it. So, but I kind of think that we need a better system than what it is, because Junlei, you have an insurance card, you have that, and you can go to any service provider. It doesn't have to be at just one place. As long as that clinic, that hospital is a provider for your insurance group, you can go to them. And I think that that's what the system that we have to look, they have to look at in Sensei, because they should be able to go to any IHS clinic. It doesn't matter what service areas they're in. That pot of money comes from IHS, and it should be at any provider that is IHS, whether it's down in Phoenix, whether it's in Flagstaff, whether it's in Shiprock, Chinle, here, Tuba City. It should be good everywhere. And even going off and lay, you know, there are other IHS clinics that are in other states. It should be good because it's for Native Americans. That's what I think the system should be. But that's just me. But if we start making noise, we heard a council delegate that say that to us. Changes happen, and it begins at chapter houses. Do resolutions. By resolutions, change can happen. So let's be a chapter that kind of starts all of those things, changes and those kind of things for our people. So, okay, we don't have anything under old businesses. So we'll go ahead and go to new business, starting with resolution 1.
TBK 2024-096-001, accepting and approving the March 2024 budget report. Okay, number one, general activity fund, we have $8,363.63. Two, personnel and travel, $122,180.30. Number three, $13,114.59. Number eight is summer youth employment, $2,495.88. Number nine is housing discretionary, $16,857.57. Number 10, local LGA grant, which is $15,862.67. Number 12, chapter official stipend is $22,150.03. Scholarship general funds is $14,244. Scholarship claim fund is $4,316. PEP, $44,241.11. Veterans, we have $8,988.78. Number 17 is the emergency funds of $58,331.37. Chapter maintenance and operation for number 21 is $9,226.80. Number 23 is nomination sales tax of $3,599.72. Number 34 is the agricultural fund, $13,478.47. Number 40 is unhealthy food tax of $102.90. The ARPA funds is $1,197,655.09. Bringing a total of $1,555,208.91.
Okay, do I have a motion? Okay, Glorita Black. And Mary Ellis. Okay, questions, comments, concerns? If there's none, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Oppose? And abstain. TBK 2024-096-001 passes with 24 approvals, 0 opposed, 4 abstain. Number 2.
Number 2, TBK 2024-0990. Oh, sorry. 096-003, approving and supporting the septic cleaning service assistant to eligible. Oh, my bad. Going back. TPK 2024-096-002, accepting and approving the monthly cash receipt deposits for March 2024 in the amount of $973.95 as budgeted.
Okay, motion? Jamie? Second? Alice. Slick. Okay, questions, comments, concerns? If there's none, I will go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor, raise your hands. Oppose? Abstain? TBK 2024-096? Okay. -002? Passes with 23 approval, 0 opposed, 5 abstain. Number 3.
All right, TBK 2024-096-003, approving and supporting the septic cleaning service assistance to the eligible applicants in the amount of $250 to their selected vendor.
Okay. Motion? Jamie? Notice Dean, second. Mary Alice. Or was it you? I'll go ahead and do Mary G. McGee. Questions, comments, concerns? If there's no questions, comments, or concerns, all those in favor, please raise your hands. Oppose? Abstain? Okay. TBK 2024-096-003 passes with 26 approvals, 0 opposed, 3 abstain. Okay, number 4.
Number 4, TBK 2024-096-004, approving and adopting the Ts'ah Bii Chapter FY 2024 Gaming carryover budget in the amount of $1,342.82 as budgeted according to the attachments.
Okay, motion? Renelda? Willie? Second? Alice Slick. Almost said clean. Sorry, sister. I changed your last name. Okay, Alice Slick. Okay. All right, Aldo, questions, comments, and concerns? If there's none, I'll call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Okay, oppose? Abstain? Okay, TBK 2024-096-004 passes with 23 approvals, 0 opposed, 6 abstain. Number 5.
Number 5, TBK 2024-096-005, approving and supporting the budget transfer of $1,000 from 016619 tax penalties and interest to fund 016303, approving operating supplies 1,000 to cover the shortfalls to date that were not anticipated.
Motion? Jamie? Second? Alice, what? Questions, comments, concerns? If there are none, I'll call for the vote. All those in flavor. I must be hungry. Ah. All those in favor, please raise your hands. The quick. Oppose? Abstain? TBK 2024-096-005 passes with 26 approval, 0 opposed, 3 abstain. Number 6.
TBK 2024-096-006, approving and supporting the budget transfer $1,000 from 036401 space rental to fund 036321 gasoline vehicles, $500 to fund 036322 diesel fuel, $500 to cover the shortfalls to date that were not anticipated.
Okay. Motion? Ronaldo? Second? Mary G. Begay? Questions, comments, concerns? Going once? Twice? All those in favor, please raise your hands. Oppose? Abstain? TBK 2024-096-006 passes with 26 approval, 0 opposed, 3 abstain. Number 7.
TBK 2024-096-007, approving and supporting the budget transfer of $750 from 036390 other supplies and expenses to fund 036303 operating supplies, $750 to cover the shortfalls to date that were not anticipated.
Okay. Motion? Alfred. Alfred, you need to come to my chapter meetings more. Second? Second? Mary G. Begay. Okay. Questions, comments, concerns? Once? Yes. Uh-huh. Yeah. Um, within the budget uh, codes, those are in the same budget codes, but from different item lines. On number 5, it's from 016619, which is for tax penalties and interest. A is going, yes, to the fund code 016303. But number 7 is from a different line item. Yeah. But they're within the same codes. Yeah, what it's going to is there. Operating supplies are for uh, toners, office equipment, coffee, copying, printing supplies, cleaning supplies, trash bags, that's what that is. There's yes, because there's it's been zeroed out. We used up the money that was in that line item. The office supplies, other office supplies. Peso we used it up paying for these items, the supplies. So we have money that's in that, the one from number 5, and we have money in the one from number 7, but they're within the same budget GL codes. So ADG, that's what we're taking money from that to put into this other supplies so that we can continue to buy supplies, office supplies, toners, and stuff like that. The toner for that copy machine over there, it's like $100 per toner, and there's 7 or 5. There's 5 in that copy. So at one, oh, so that with whatever budget we come out with from the fiscal year, which is in October, that budget, that's where they put it in. But when we come to like right now, we're only we have May, June, July, and August, September, 5 more months. We always start depleting some of those line items. So we take it from the other ones that still have some money in it, that is not really depleting too fast. We take some of that money to cover some of those expenses so that at the end of the fiscal year, we don't come out with any negatives, that we don't come out with any abnormalities. So. Any other questions? Atenoe, I'll go ahead and call for the vote. All those in favor, please raise your hands. Oppose? Abstain. TBK 2024-096-007 passes with 25 approvals, 0 opposed, 4 abstain. Number 8.
Number 8, TVK 2024-096-008. Approving and supporting the budget transfer of $495.10 from Fund 106607 seminars and registration fees to Fund 106202 travel expenses $495.10 to cover the shortfalls to date that were not anticipated.
Okay, thank you. Motion? Alice and Mary G. Begay. Alice Slick, Mary G. Begay. Oh. Okay, questions, comments, concerns? Go ahead. Um, okay, the main budget that comes at the fiscal year is the one that is from the Navajo Nation, the general, the big one. AI, it comes with whatever limits and everything there is. There are several other monies that do come in, like the one earlier where we accepted the gaming budget, carryover budget. They anything that gaming, just peso the profits it gets disseminated amongst the 110 chapters too. So that's one of the budgets that come in. And then there's another one, the supplemental also comes in, but that one's only for certain things. And then the unhealthy food sales tax, it comes in, but this year that hasn't come in. So the travel expense, that's where some of it goes from those incoming income as we put. But some of these haven't been coming in yet. They usually come in at the beginning of the year, calendar year, January, but in the Conta Note, and we're in March, and now we're in April. So we don't know. So usually there is money in that travel expense, but those monies haven't come in from these other budgets that come in. So as it gets depleted, that's what happens. We start having to cover some of that. The most ones that do travel for the chapter from here is mostly me and the chapter manager. It's mostly us that we go out to travel. If we do like seminars or summits or anything, we already get a resolution to let you know that these people were using this money to pay for this, like what we did with Las Vegas, the reservation or the Res Summit, 2024 Res Summit. We went there, and there were 3 of us that went there. And what we mostly did during that time is we communicated with a lot of companies, a lot of government companies, a lot of contacted, because right now we're doing what projects here through the ARPA fund. lay warehouse later that ahigi. We contacted people that could be able to do warehouses. Ado hane la what their work abilities are, what they can do for us. So we gave them dimensions of the warehouse that we're looking at. You know, what mostly we did a lot of networking. So that was one of the projects that we looked at. Not only that, but for future project like the one building that's down there that we want to build down there. And then the other one that we did is housing. Housing, housing things, and though we don't want to go through Navajo Housing Authority, we want to anihiba atahuiliado anihi nehi guidelines holoni bikaho tatil hey tatil ni tapati. No, that's what we did at that conference, is taught with a lot of these people. There's probably over 100 companies that are there. So auto ani like for budget the remember the corrective action plans for the audits. That's what we did. We went to Window Rock to travel for those. We went to Chimbito. But that was just right there, so it was just a one-day trip. Evening now, we didn't we traveled there, and I was the only one that went there, but I came back. But the other one we did was to Window Rock. So anytime that we have to do like registrations, or anytime that we're going to go attend a big conference, we always try to put it before you so that you know who's traveling or who's going to these places. We bring back information back to you to report back at the chapter meeting so that you know what all this was about. We do preparation like for strategic meetings like us here. Every year we have to do a strategic meeting before the fiscal year ends, so that when the money does come in, we're able to move around some monies, that are not restricted to fund some projects that we may be looking for. And it also helps us to advocate and look for monies, seek monies from other, like grants stole from other entities to help fund the projects that we have for this community. Any other questions, comments, concerns? Okay, Atenoe, all those in favor, raise your hands. Raise them up high so we can see your hands. Oppose? Abstain. All right. TBK 2024-096-008 passes with 22 approvals, 0 opposed, 2 abstain. Sorry, correction. Approval, 26 approvals, 0 opposed, and 3 abstain. Okay. Although we don't have a 9 and 10, so that would conclude our resolutions. Thank you for your voting, exercising your voting privileges. I really appreciate that. Although in the Kodoe reports by the officials. Hold on, let me. Okay. All right then. As for my report, Nle D-Res Julieta Shinigi in Las Vegas. We went there. It was pretty long and a lot of people, a lot of walking. It's a big conference that happens with a lot of other Native American business owners, um, people that sell arts and crafts that are natives. Um, it also has one-on-one um, one-on-one networking where you can actually sit down with certain companies and talk to them about projects. Uh, if you have something that you really want to get out there, that you want funded, you can give them your proposal, your business plans, or what your plans are for whatever project you're looking for. So Vernon, myself, the chapter manager, Vernon, myself, and the secretary treasurer, Dellert, we all went there and split up talking with people. We were able to meet with a lot of people that do warehouses, that do housing projects, that does big projects like the Commerce Center that we're talking about at the crossroads. We also talked with people that do sort of like surveying type of work, well repairs, earthen dams, erosions. We talked to a lot of people like that because those are concerns that we have for our community. Erosions down in the canyon, how to stop that, how to make that as a project so that we can get it funded to do the whole canyon, or even to do um, like your chapter boundary, chapter service area, if you would put, how to map it out, because grazing representative has been talking about something like that. Navajo Nation has not made a move yet to do something like the county lines. Joe County, county lines, to do something like that. They're kind of hesitant to move in that area. Ayobasa holo ayobasa holo no na oina do ya dojo yanda ida. But I think that should or how we think or talk about that is that we think that it's necessary, just like county lines are. County lines are necessary. So if we have chapter lines, chapter boundaries, or where their service areas is, then we know that we can say that's within our chapter. So we're going to go ahead and try to do something about that area. Auto, like if somebody tries to move into our area with something economically, then we're there to say, hey, nihin has agi itabadohne, nihishe het adon hiltahosneta, nihishe het even na adon hahiso koben hiltahosne. Akodik apel la asli, heshi la asli, Depending na bella as lindo be peso in ni hikoto sto api kinde hite ito peso kin to ni hin ha hinde to le hat ni go jo pen si zi to le pinia o hot ehiki sto we found a person that does that. They said that they use drones to map out the area. Within how close was it, he said? They said they can even go like a nasaza instead of having to go into those areas to disturb them. They said they can fly it and come in very close to take pictures and whatever so that we can put it. But where I think it's closer than that. Yeah, they can come in really close and it will be clear. No, also that we know what is in our area, and so that we can say that's who we talk to too. And then there's other people that we talk to too, just generally like for government entities, dan linigi, and we just talked about some generally like like healthcare. That's what I was saying for IHS. They need to have a better system that any Native American that is a Native American has a census number can go anywhere where all these IHS housings are. That's what were talking about. And then the other thing we talked about too is driver's license. We talked to a person about driver's license. There's a company that our southern counterparts, Native American communities, Pima, the Ejido, Gila River, the Aja, Hosogi, some of them are already using this driver's license. Driver's license, they have that. And on there, you also use it to travel domestically in United States and Canada, to where you don't have to have a passport. To go into Canada, they said you have to have a passport. But you do still need a passport to travel outside the United States. But within United States to travel anywhere, they have that you can do that to travel domestically. This like airplane beach. You have to go through a certain processes of verification of who you are to make sure. Although you go through a screening and through all that, but with this driver's license ID that they're talking about, it's able to get you through quicker than having to go through all that process. And on here, they said that you can even put your information that you want, your Indian blood of certification that you want to put on there. If you want to put your voter registration number on there, you can. So what we thought about was that it would be nice to have something like that, voter registration, so that here, like at the chapter, especially if we go, if they pass and say, oh, they can attend virtually and count their votes virtually in Hito. Imagine if we have this information on their driver's license, they just have to put in that number and it shows up over here to show that they're a voter of this chapter. We can use it in that way. So, it's a lot of possibility. So this person that we talked to said that the office had talked to the Navajo Nation president's office, but no. They were just waiting for Navajo Nation to give their okay so that we can bring that service to the Navajo Nation too. No, so that's what they were saying is that's what they're waiting for. So things like this to step into the future. And the other day, that's what we did. Got a lot of information. So we're using that information now for the projects that we have that are coming up. Tuesday, we were in Window Rock at the Budget and Finance Committee meeting. Last month, like I said, I was in Chichimpito for the RDC meeting. And passed the audit and although there were 9 findings. And then corrective action plan, get it passed by resolution. No, that's what we did. So at the RDC meeting in Chichipito, that's what we presented to them. The corrective action plan, what we're going to do and how we're going to take care of things. That's what we did. And I presented over there with the council delegate and the Auditor General representative. Presented the legislation. So from there, they said that we go to the Budget and Finance Committee meeting. So Tuesday, so when we went there, we did the same thing. Council delegate, myself, the Office of the Auditor General's Office representative, and the ASC director, Leniki Elijah Satani, Calvin Sosis. Those four. The 4 of us, we did a presentation in front of the Budget and Finance. The same thing, we told them about the findings, we told them what the corrective action plan that we're doing and what we have done so far correcting those corrections. So, and they said that we have a year from that day to a year to correct those findings and get it all completed, get it what we need to do, and then present it before them again so that they can say, okay, let's get that done within 6 months. No, ASC, yes, so we're working on that now. We're putting the report together to get that done. Yes. Nine. All of them. Right when the Auditor General gave us the finalization of the report, we already started working on it to correcting some of those things. And a lot of the findings was based on human error, lack of knowledge of how to do certain things. And then one of them was the MIP program, the accounting program that we have, didn't have some of those options in there, so we had to put them in there to show that it can show out on the report, like assets, like the chapter assets. We had to program in there in the MIP system to show that, because it wasn't showing that at all. And we were already told that that's going to always be a finding for all the chapters because it doesn't have that in there. No, so How can we put it as a part of the system, the software system, so that it can show no, so they worked on that, and that's what we did. So that part of it, assets, showing the assets is showing now. Auto, there was one that even had oh, 5,000 peso on the SNL, and it's in the wrong one. No. So what happened there was they laid peso yahahin dehigi through the chapter for services that we provide. The system is that you bring that amount in, but from that system, the register, the money register system, Iki, from that, Iki, you have to put that into the MIP system. Auto from the MIP, within the MIP system, you have to take it out and put it into the correct line items where that money is supposed to go. But the process that the previous administration assistant before Vernon was the administration assistant, AD didn't know how to put it out. Because she didn't really know about that. They didn't really know about how to put it out into those. So what Vernon did was, okay, so this money goes here. Auto working with the MIP software, he put it back into the correct line item so that it can start showing there. So now in our reconciliation, it can show it went into this one. So there's no more money that is parked in a certain area. Accumulate it. It wasn't being distributed out. So that's what one of the problem was. So, but that's corrected. So, it took a while. I know that it took Vernon a while to get all of those things corrected. So now when you look at our budget reconciliation, you can see some of the areas where the wrong things were done. Oh. And if you want to know about the audit report, it's under the Auditor General's office website for our area, for our applicant. That's where you can find it. So Auto, when we complete all of this and turn it back into them or come back before them, it'll probably, the results of all of it, she will be put back under their office again. So a lot of this is transparent. There's no, I mean, don't not in the in spite of what some people are saying. No. That's where the corrective action is on the report. And it's a letter from me, so. So it's all there if you want to look at it. Under the Auditor General Office website, it's under there. Okay? So, yeah, so that's what we did at Budget and Finance. Like I said, they passed the legislation for that. So now we got to just get it all put into a book, the results of everything, the corrections, how they were corrected and all that, put it back into a book and then present it back to them with it. So, so that's all I have for my report. Chancey?
Good afternoon, guys. While she did all her things that needed to be done for this community, I'd stay here, make sure everything is running well through this for the people that are working right here, and waste management, water's going, and whatever you guys need that you guys put into your resolutions. Also, I make sure that it gets to these two, and also make sure these people know that you guys, how urgent you guys' matters are. So, and then I'll make sure I'm around for these people, and then I'll make sure that everything is signed and well documented for them, so they can, when they come back, they're they are they get the information needed to what's going on around here for you guys too. Then whenever you guys need that, they have in there. I set down as notes too also. So I make sure I'm here for you guys. But for Vernon and them, they really need somebody around here for the checks and the balances and stuff. So that's what I do. So mainly just make sure that she's updated. Thank you.
Thank you, Chancey. Dellert?
So my name is Dellard Curling. I don't know if I'll go ahead and introduce myself again. Shay Dellard Curling, Shay Yedin, Kachin, Slono, Islam Bashis Chin, Ajitkapahash, Shay Dohanagani, Rashanat Island. Shay, I'm your secretary treasurer. There's some new faces here, so that's why I wanted to go ahead and introduce myself. So for my report, as these two officials over here stated that, we're working hard to get things done and rolling. So one of the tasks that I've been a part of is getting that warehouse. And so when we went to RAS, I spoke to 80 contracts and companies, other contracting companies, to really look at where we can streamline a lot of our things as far as what we want out here. As far as the warehouse, we're going through the preliminary phases as far as defining the scope of work, how the scope is going to come, the design, all that stuff, who's going to come in as a contractor to erect the building, and then also put all the other stuff in there. So I'm working with them on that. I'm also working with Vernon on any other questions as far as the ARPA regulations and ARPA issues that kind of come up. We kind of find other ways to try to strategize on how we can efficiently spend the ARPA funds that we have. Again, we received 50% of the ARPA funds that was allocated. We have $1.2 million that was given to this chapter house. So out of that, we got 50% of that to start those three projects: the renovation project, the electrical project, and then the warehouse project. So with all three of those, us three officials and grazing are all working together to try to get those funds spent accurately and in accordance to the laws of the ARPA. And so with that, we make sure that the financial items are separated and all that other stuff, so we don't have to have any issues when it comes up to us having to be audited by the federal government. This chapter is going to be audited according to those monies that was given to us. Anything over $750,000 that's given to the chapter, we have a one-time audit. And so that's one thing, we're ensuring that each and every single project is accounted for, signed off. We're peer checking everybody, making sure that everybody is aware of what needs to happen, so we don't have to have any major issues. And then with that, as President stated, we were up there at RAS, talking to other contractors. We have other plans in place for the development of the Commerce Center, the housing units for the Inscription House residents, demolitions of other buildings around here. So we're in constant communication with a lot of them. So as far as that, we ensure that the finances are spent accurately and that we're able to ensure we're in compliance is pretty much it. And again, a lot of people talk about this audit report being like a bad thing, but technically it's really a learning opportunity for all of us to understand where our faults are, where our deficiencies are, so how way we can improve. We use this as a learning tool for us. I mean, I know under everybody out there may think that it's the bad thing in the world. Again, we're only human, but at the same time, how we define, how we overcome a lot of those things is by correcting those deficiencies and then learning from those deficiencies and then making sure that we keep on par with our updates, to these regulations and all that good stuff. So other than that, I pretty much it for my report.
Thank you, Gellert. So that's pretty much it for our reports. The other thing is we do, Gellert had shown up there the memorandum that was from our president, Dr. Bii Nigrin, and he said in his memorandum that the Navajo Nation Executive Branch will remain open on April 8th. And he gives his reason. So he leaves it up to the people on how that they do that with respect, he said. So if you're wanting to read that, we'll probably have this posted out on the bulletin, but if you want a copy of it, they can give you a copy of it. So, hoda. Ado, Shana, Billy Niyala. I don't know if he wants to give a report. Would you like to give a report or? Okay.
Good afternoon. Billy Goodman Jr., Ts'ah Bii Veterans Association. I'm the president, commander. Our vice commander is Dellert. Our secretary treasurer is Delfino Tetsu. So, but Ts'ah Bii can slot so on Minigi. We're a subcommittee for the chapter. So, di kita ni tege consulat so na has kegi anda kegi sahota ba ape ba haya hindi ko ni na hay kegi veteran the no the title. So we did our duties, fought our wars, and came home. Some of us. So astronomic Navajo tribe that vessel ni 2014 that up supplemental funds. The council approved it. That each chapter chapter vessel to lots of veterans. They've cut it's a it's not cotton made by it's not budget report Ginny is set $5,000 last this year this fiscal year 24 it's $5,000 each yeah the 8 of a cut not for Memorial Days, July 4th Day, Flag Day, but that's a celebration. A combat to the 8 on this, no. Giano, that's not they eat a t-shirts. And it on this, no. So, Nana best every year, a Veterans Trust Fund. A 아차가 하잖네 아데 그러이 데니 케로 하다 일이야 비리하다 일이야 아코 해자 아디 난다 있어 또 아데 체크 이제 다 a veterans web 카다 있어 die veterans cannot study it's on then I see not a surviving spouse here. Ado watching das nanige gold star mother here. Da chicken a job best of Canada. So a policy a best of a sa sa hata not neto no and here kid veterans organizations. Next year the industry. So that's a separate policy. Veterans Trust Fund. I wonder about that. So the current one, the question the league, I can check about the those policies. Because veteran 而家好有 best 有劇啊attend That's not true. We have money here. In the policies, these son, yeah, but sabic and as an eggy, do bahana ada. So sana I use the neck. They are here. So the policies, a jo sahata sabic, can not a nilla. A belanta silly, ani, sasit lana. I don't policy be in the go a kado. His land that on hippe landa ya called a chapter resolutions because the called the chaw ido this no. And here can other ones in Latina maybe in the next meeting. So the policy's ready. If you are interested, you can review it. If the action do that he nickel hold on the main meetings on each there's money available for assistance. Go back to trust fund. Trust fund a budget earlier. Ada bad council ye lata asli a court this no. This chapter ye budget earlier so chose a assistance programs ye these ads there's money still in the budget ato cho ita 80 peso ye be ka ta ji he cho a je peso be land they need kero to last month be be land ta si ledo veterans administration na ha transfer peso ta to si ta di ni shi dia do peso na sa benada chi da adone ka na achetole. So there'll be more money for assistance, but it'll be a couple months. That request, that process, it takes a while. Ado next year, but in this year, some policies, I think that policies, but not that you cannot achetole. So peso itself, well, we need to start talking about that and then creating another budget for that fiscal year 2025. Of course, see. Every month, the planning meeting on Naka, first Monday. I don't it's on Naka, a veterans, Asanatle. Go every first Monday, the same day as a planning meeting. If there's nothing planned for this room, it'll be in here. If not, we'll probably be in the kitchen or somewhere. But we need a koya to shanda. Even though we tell you guys at all it's posted that we try to tell everybody. Veterans. So one the Nigerian administration, but the veterans, all policies or all the programs, Oyo sa sido ba ka na zo na lo ya ta. So unless you're a veteran with a good conduct discharge, you'll be assisted. Ado hote discharge. So la na lo ya ta. Kado it's other than it la. Ale on it ya ta they need. Yeah, we got came home with a BB 214. But even those that doesn't say good conduct, I mean, we're all veterans and we should be treated as such. But so we'll see how the new policy comes along. And the last thing, the Western agency just to by city the office housing program manager, housing specialist. There's nobody out in Western. Additional, go to say, there's nobody working the programs out here. Those other agencies that have them, there's zero homes being built in the Western. But the base was but the so I would bring that up at your NOS meetings and regional meetings. Leadership suddenly, I think Ashon, but he's down. So if you need necessary, I used to be the commander for Western Agency. Itai Ashon, I was appointed. And now, if you need me or if you need information, I still have access to that. And we'll see how that goes. But I urge you to stay on your leadership and talk to them. Thank you. Any questions for me? If not, here's your mic.
Yeah, it's enough. Kinda. Although we have a lot of veterans that are here in this community, but when I go to their meeting to sign in, but there's only a few that are there, and I know there's a lot more than that. Facebook on our community Ts'ah Bii chapter 4 page. Oh, there's a lot of people that make a lot of comments. But and Allah alle koto koten has tada. To koten hit has tada. Only that a house de shana to ahot ati the shiyaj aj veteran organization just to ahot. So encourage the veteran dan lenigi, encourage them to come kote. La meeting not le bandat bandat. Ahot out ya alle tlahonis. Toba nahat ido tobenia hina il tehos doado tit to hunne the hot ao na do nilti la don hat the halet ala sahal do nila hat no ba nahat ido al to na sos vokal iko aro betash desnes hot yat didek a chapter d. This is my third term, my first term as a president. But later, 2013, how the chapter was at that time to how the chapter is now, there's a big difference. There's a lot of improvements that have happened from that time to now. Kare koto future nana. Dik akdijin bandate ini kapanahat iniki nde nasin saha kes aden sanade keso ntahuit a. Ako doe o ohot and hat niniki e to tato le haye nasta ti kahaye nastin kahoto nli bandate. Nachalchene na da nesse ni hitso ken hinalike na da nesse baust at the hotel ni no a hot an to take his on the huita. So a hot ela ado koje I think the senior citizen is closed for now. Gas leak benina. They propane banda zahigi. They found that there was a leak, so they're looking into getting that prepared so that the senior citizen can open up again. Auto, the announcements there, St. Mary's Food Distribution, the last Monday of the month. Partial solar eclipse, Monday go, that's what's gonna happen. Yeah. Yeah, for Clupsy.
Mary Ellis and Priscilla Silsey and one who went garden degree on the board. Our agenda is something awesome. We haven't worked with my show you today. Agenda on Harmony or open set activities. Banda and Nina Benali that came around and talked to us about ruling that Smith. That's how we get, well, it's Reed gave us suggested that we do a Google mapping, Google plus code. They call these I got George. They right now that's my main topic to get that thing going. And then we're talking about the grave site, the burial ground, burial site. 8 o'clock on day, for our own community, because they were saying that it's under the church, baptistry, the church,
Okay.
Another one, the senior center supervisor, there is Carol Gaylor. Building that they're in. They wanted another site with that, and told them about the line that's right there on Matthew. And I guess the program says they will stick to it. The outline on the back on the drug sheet is involved. We all stick to it. And we have the gas propane, and another one is the high water. Sewer line. Although much
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, it turned off or mute or power off. Anyway, I had Shamaho, this one that all talks digital. Then the Ahiki, what on the agenda is a story in my husband. So about him, so all those meeting schedules are on there on your agenda. Okay, that's the planning chapter district, permittees meeting, Western agencies, Clutzy, a permittees meeting, and meeting is still, how your, the governor told that the Yojahi permits, but the Yojahi encourage them to come to these permittees meetings. So, because they do talk about a lot of big topics on that. Yanda, Tino, other presenters, they do come and talk about how to take care of your livestock, what to do, and what new ways are out there to better your livestock. And so encourage them to come. And talking about permits, yesterday I was paying a bill for my mom at a bank. And I was in line. The synergies that live over there by Fichis and the Tapokanipisa was in front of me. Aro Shikera, Esakana, Aja Tapokani Fichi in that area. And I was being helped. They greeted each other, and then the lady that was standing behind me was telling her, there's solar, not mega, no, Troy and hit up the Yat and the Tashia, and Shika, no, Yahasna. Then, every Chicago was not. And one thing she mentioned is her Mickey's, their siblings, she ate and really, their permits, but actually, they have their permits, but they're not here. Leg out there, the permits, but they don't job. And they don't that not equal or that they job. That is a bad one. The husband. She could ask a young and I told her, I said, I think there's rules and guidelines for having a permit with the sheep. You should look into the rules and guidelines, policies and procedures for having a permit to be. Now, most of the chief, I bought actually, they don't live here. They hard to shoot a couple. I left in that they use their permit. And I was like, there are guidelines for that, policies and procedure by Holo Bad, by Holo. You should look into that. So there's situations like that with crazy it's just the same with this travel expense. Talking through the telephone with somebody or talking through that with somebody is not as good as talking to the person themselves. Person to person, face to face. Because telephone, you can only hear the tone of that person. Because you can tell when a person but you can tell what they're thinking or where they're going to get their point across. So, to travel, sometimes I think it's necessary to go out there. If you're gonna advocate to bring money in, to bring whatever, for the band that on the sheet, it's a must that you travel. Ako tanala apa kanawe yang can travel with you know, spending your own money like to pay to the city and around here. But lanes are local area, you know, it kind of gets expensive. So we always try to look for the cheapest one. But then sometimes we get hit with events that are happening in that town where the prices go up. I wish it wouldn't do that. I mean, it's like, how much more money are you gonna make by raising the price? You know, but that's how business people think sometimes, I think. But, so it all depends, all of that. So, committees that are here, Veterans, CLUXY, committees meeting, encourage your fellow community member to come to those so that they can hear themselves for themselves what plans are or what's going on. Encourage them to come here, even to chapter meetings, because we sometimes talk about things like that too. So I can't into the nation. Me? Announcement 3, the Friday, interview and application was planning service to the do you know if that's, how much they charge? Priscilla was telling us that what she found out was they paid for the whole thing, right? Because that money that they're using to pay for those expenses from the ARPA fund. So you'll have to go over to NTUA and apply over there for Section 2. Okay.
Hi, my name is Ronaldo Woolley. I'm representative from the IEC member for Page High School, or the Page Unified School District. I'm looking for an alternative. If you're a child or a grandchild of a Page of any grade, you can put in a letter of interest to the Chuck House and see if you can be an alternate for me, because for the past 2 meetings that they had to reschedule. It's basically like funding, like approving funding, what we do here at the Chapter House. So if you're wanting to know about budgeting, that would probably be a good opportunity to maybe understand how the budget goes too, because we actually approve field trips for the students of any ages, any class that are going on field trips, because it's almost the end of the year for the school, so the next 2 months that are coming up, they're going to be going on field trips. So last year, we had over 800 students go on field trips. So I would appreciate if a grandparent or a parent can help me out on that. Like going to the meeting and then just approving, and then you get a stipend. You get your stipend mileage for traveling over there, and then you get a stipend for that that meeting that day. So if you're interested, let me know, and then I can forward the message to our IEC coordinator. His name is Carlos Villegas. And that's it. Thank you.
Okay, our representative for IEC, Indian Education Committee, for the Page High School District. Representative. So we're currently, right now, she's the only one, and she's supposed to have an alternate, but she doesn't have an alternate yet. So, other than that, any other questions, comments, or concerns? None, Koshi, next month, Dikisha, we're gonna have, the ARPA project, supervisor give us a report, because by that time, some of the projects some of the renovation projects will be going and stuff like that, so we'll have him give us a report on that next month. If there's no other questions, comments, or concerns, do I have a motion for adjournment? Jamie and Lean seconds. All those in favor, raise your hands.
Done with this?
24.
Huh?
24.
Opposed? Abstain? Okay, adjournment is approved. 24 approval, 0 opposed, 4 abstain, and adjournment is at 1:09 p.m. Daylight savings time. Okay. And then my phone thank you for your help. You have a good day. Have a good weekend.